Alright guys, TJHaLy here today. Hope you're all having a fantastic Wednesday today is, and we've got another fair few things to talk about here, especially regarding Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which is coming out, I think October the 25th is the date. Also, just to quickly mention yesterday's video, a lot of you guys pointed out very quickly that in fact all of the Pro League teams and the amateur teams were organised alphabetically, which is something that somehow slipped my mind. But yeah, thank you guys for correcting me on that one, and a few of you have already reached out to me on Twitter with some queries. I'm going to try and respond to them as soon as I finish recording this video. But yeah, if you guys have any queries or things you want to say, or if you have any like intel or anything that you want to let me know of, or something you've heard, or a Twitch clip or anything, feel free to let me know, and my Twitter's linked down below. My DMs are always open. Also to mention, a lot of you guys have been submitting clips lately for the end of the video. Usually at the end of videos I have a clip there. Not always, it depends on, I don't have an infinite supply, and if the video is already quite long, I feel like I don't want to extend it. I'd prefer to save a clip for a shorter video so I can kind of extend it to make sure the videos are of similar length. Some people have been submitting clips through Gmail, some of them submitting through Twitter DMs and the like. If you want one place to put them, which I would definitely recommend because I don't really want to be grabbing clips from all over the place, there is a Discord link in the description box below, and down there you will find a link to my Discord. There's about 600 of us, a lot of us talking about all things Call of Duty and outside of Call of Duty as well, and it's a lot of fun, especially during match days, but also people in there are always willing to chat. So a lot of great guys in there, guys and gals possibly, I'm not even sure. And yeah, there's a clip submissions channel in that Discord where you can put all your clips. There's a load of them still in there, and I'll go through, download them all, put them in a folder, and then there's a chance that it'll appear at the end of the video. If you guys aren't really aware of this, pretty much any clip, it doesn't have to be like a good moment or a highlight moment. It can be like a funny moment, a fail, or whatever. Any Call of Duty really, I'm not too specific with it. So yeah, if you want to get featured at the end of one of my videos, that is the channel to do so. I thought I would at least mention it today while it was on my mind. So moving onwards here, we're going to talk about a few things. Like, if you guys enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always. I thought I'd mention that as always. Whatever. This is the first thing to say. Crone, of course, the runner of the CDB Intel account, said on Twitter, Silly and Brian State are trying to get a bootcamp number 3 going with Splice and UYU, but I don't think it got very far. Some intel he heard. Brian Saint, the coach of Midnight, responds, Splice and Heretics, but NV doesn't have availability to host teams, and no one else has a facility. We tried to find space in Chicago, but it's looking slow. So supposedly another bootcamp on the way, because of course we have the Gen.G, 100 Thieves, E-United, and Reciprocity Bootcamp, and then we have the OpTic Gaming, FaZe Clan, Luminosity, and Evil Geniuses Bootcamp, supposedly, and apparently this is going to try and be another one. It may not come to fruition, which would be pretty unfortunate for these teams if they don't get any bootcamp chance pre-champs. So let's move onwards here to the main thing I wanted to talk about today, and that is regarding the no minimap rumour. And I don't know whether really to call it a rumour. It hasn't been confirmed as of the recording of this video, but it's very, very likely, and a lot of, you know, big name YouTubers have been talking about it. So I thought I would at least discuss it, share some thoughts, and then you guys, of course, can go to town in the comment section exactly what you think about this change, because, you know, if it does come to fruition, as apparently it will do, we'll have a look a second. There is a clip going around that I will link down below. I don't want to show it because it may be copyrighted stuff. Activision might strike the video. Don't want any of that, but I will link it down below if you guys want to have a look at it, which does show some people playing Modern Warfare with no minimap in the top left. So that is at least the rumour for the current time. So let's just jump into it here. So firstly, we have this. So tomorrow, August the 1st, 10 AM Pacific time, we're going to have the multiplayer gameplay premiere. This is the lineup of people that are going to be here. So let's have a look through some of these names. I kind of understand what they're doing here. They're going for people that, of course, have big followings. They're paying them a lot of money to get them in and, you know, play in the game. But of course, it would be nice, at the very least, to have some actual professional players come along and play. Maybe they are going, some of them, but I doubt it, because a lot of these guys, or at least some people like Drifter Exclusive Ace, have been vocal that they are going out to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And I think the pros would have done the same thing if they were invited. But let's have a look through some of these names here. So the big name guys: Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Myth, TSM Myth, Fortnite guy, Gataga, of course, Call of Duty legend, and nice to see him there. You know, Tom Syndicate, Alan Zoka, not really sure who this is, to be honest. There's a lot of these names I don't recognise. I'm sure you guys will roast me in the comments. But, you know, okay, Courage is there, but maybe a different figure than he was nowadays than he was when he was a caster. Skyros, Kitty Plays, The Grefka, Microsoft Vixen, I don't know what MS actually stands for. Okay, Vixen, Daquan, I'm just going to you know, crush through a few of them. Daquan, I don't know how to pronounce it. He's another Fortnite guy. TP, of course. Hamlins, I think it's TSM Hamlins, Fortnite guy. Legion, you know, a lot of names here. King Richard, I think, is Envy, Fortnite guy. Jericho, okay, pretty legendary name. Skadoodle, interestingly, a former CSGO professional, pretty popular personality. Noah J456 as well. So a lot of big names here. A lot of names that aren't Call of Duty professional players, with the exception of TP and Gataga, I guess, are the only guys that have ever been pro. So I guess it's good advertising. It's not really something that we as a competitive community want to be seeing, but I guess it is what it is. And I suppose it's good that a lot of these guys will be at the event, because these are big name guys, especially guys like Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, you know, that can really make an impression on this game. Hopefully we'll be able to see something good. So this is poor quality, but this is supposedly going to be the timeline for tomorrow. So 10 AM, multiplayer debut and pre-show. So 1 PM Pacific time, 6 PM British summertime, which is good because I'll be home from work. 10:30 gameplay live stream, post-show at 2 PM. So it's going to be an hour and a half of gameplay, supposedly, which is a pretty big deal. So yeah, twitch.tv/Call of Duty, the normal channel, is going to be your go-to, and exciting times ahead. We will see if there is indeed no minimap. This is the rumor, at least right now. I don't want to scroll up on this tweet because it will go to potentially content that you guys shouldn't be seeing, or at least that we're not meant to be seeing, but I will leave this tweet linked down below if you guys do want to check it out. So yeah, that'll be one of the links in the description. Shouldn't be too hard to find. This is a video where they talked about it. So this is Drifter, of course, T Martin, and Chaos X Silencer, who have been around for many years, and these guys did about a 17-minute video on Drifter's channel talking about the new game, and in it they have the following clip that I thought I'd play for you guys.
No minimap. Thoughts?
Nobody asked for that. But I haven't played it, so I can't say if it's a bad thing. I know they're going for the more realistic aspect, which that does make sense. I feel like it's going to slow the game down and make it a lot more campy. Just like, again, I haven't played it, so I have no experience, but I think that's what would happen if you took mini-maps away in any other COD game. So I don't know, what do you guys think?
Slight disagree.
Okay.
In COD, you're always staring at the mini-map looking for the little dots to pop up, and if you think about your player behavior, you're just kind of like meandering and shooting at what pops up, and then if you see a dot, you just change your behavior. I feel like you're an amoeba chasing food.
Right.
When you take away the mini-map, you actually have to use your ears and think a little bit.
Okay.
So, and it also helps you focus on the actual game and what you're doing, and not just like staring at the upper left-hand corner, just waiting for somebody to reveal themselves.
So definitely some interesting thoughts displayed in this one. So in addition to the clip that's come out over the last couple of days ago, supposedly showing the game without a minimap, it's been rumored for quite a while now. The Gaming Revo YouTube has said that instead of a minimap, you kind of have like a, not necessarily a Fortnite style, but you have some sort of compass at the top of your screen, and red dots may like appear on that depending on where they are on the compass. So it's not a full minimap, but you may still see red dots, which in my opinion is completely flipped on what you want from a minimap. And let's go into some reasons here. So firstly, I don't think this is going to be as big an impact on competitive as it would be on public matches. I think that in competitive, I don't necessarily want to say it's going to add a skill gap. That may be true to some extent. There's obviously a difference between you can add a load of stuff into the game and claim it adds a skill gap, but it may just add a degree of randomness, which you don't want in the game. So there's a fine line between the two of them, I would say. This, of course, without playing it, it's tough to say exactly what the consequences will be. In a game like Black Ops 4, it is so fast-paced that if we had no minimap, I don't think that even the best players in the world would be able to keep up with everything going on, and also consider like where their teammates are spawned and get all the information coming in, because that, I think, is the crucial thing about a minimap. A lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, you know, it's the red dots where the enemies are. From a competitive standpoint, and I'm sure you guys that have played the game for a number of years will know that it's not really about where the enemies are, it's about where your teammates are, because those are the people that you can see all the time. And if you know where your teammates are, you know indirectly where the enemies are. And especially, and you know, when I say competitive, I kind of mean like at the pro level, pros playing the game, because if you're all being able to communicate, you can chat to each other and say, yo, I just spawned like back yellow or something. And that quick call out can tell you, okay, well, he spawned there, therefore let's work it out in my head, like they're probably going to be spawning over there, right? But that like is difficult to do, especially when you're playing a really fast-paced environment, even for, you know, reasonably good players. Picking up and while you're playing and while you're doing everything else on the map, capturing objectives, whatever, having a think about the minimap and deciding, you know, where the enemies are going to be based on where your teammates just spawned, there's a bit of multitasking involved there. So, you know, for the professionals, I don't think this will be the biggest change ever. I think especially if Modern Warfare is a little bit of a slower paced game, there might be time to say, okay, I spawned here, I spawned there, and then maybe there is some sort of skill gap in communication added at that level. But, you know, another thing to say is, who asked for this? As T. Martin said, of course, in Black Ops 4, we've had Fog of War, which has not been a good thing for competitive. It's the kind of thing where you run around a corner and you might have your back to someone, but because the Fog of War, they appear on the minimap because there's a little bit of, it's a little bit glitchy. And even though there's a setting in competitive which says you can turn it off, it doesn't actually really change anything from my experience. So nobody likes that in the game. So we were like, you know, we don't like Fog of War, get rid of it, it's not good for competitive. And they decided to take out the whole minimap. Classic. But, you know, for public matches and for league play, I think this is not going to be a good change by any means. I really, you know, it's visceral, it's I don't know, the realistic gameplay experience, but, you know, I don't like it. I really don't see the reason to make this change. And the fact that when you get a UAV, supposedly there might be like 3 different types of UAV. A personal UAV, which is just for you, a UAV for your whole team, and then an advanced UAV, more like a VSAT kind of thing. Or, you know, a Blackbird from all the way back in the day, and advanced UAVs from previous Infinity War games as well. Might be something like that. And when that appears, a minimap will appear from what we have heard. So it's basically like you're playing hardcore from other games when you don't have a minimap, and then when you get a UAV it appears. So it's like they must have designed a minimap and have it ready to go if they wanted to, but they've just decided that they're not going to have a minimap in the game for whatever reasons. I don't really know. I would like to see it explained in tomorrow's reveal at the very least. I'm a player that focuses on the competitive side of things, and, you know, I'm thinking about playing league play and having no idea where my teammates are spawning because nobody is communicating. I'm running around the map, and yes, okay, as Drifter says, you can use your ears and whatever, but it's not that simple, mate. Like, you can't just know where your teammates are spawning based on your ears alone. And sometimes, even if you have a really good idea and you're really good at like telling where everyone is on the map and, you know, getting all these little cues and deciding, sometimes the fractional difference in the movement of one of your enemies can flip a spawn from back there to back all the way over the other side. And if your teammate spawns on opposite sides of the map, which you would have no idea of knowing without a minimap, then your entire strategy about, you know, retaking this objective or whatever you're going to try and do is completely changed. And that one little speck of information and that one little thing you can see on your minimap, you can immediately, the best players can immediately react to that and change how they play the upcoming situation. And it will be possible to immediately react to that if you're a very good competitive team. You can say, yo, I spawned out. But if you're playing public matches, if you're playing competitive league play, whatever, that's not going to be possible, and it's going to throw a lot of people off. And in my opinion, this just adds more randomness. I think the minimap already, when there's no communication, provides enough of a skill gap for me to say that, like, I think the minimap adds a skill gap is what I'm trying to say. That if you're good at looking at your minimap and multitasking and deciphering what it means, that is a skill gap that is introduced into the game by a minimap. If you remove that, in my opinion, you just add randomness and reduce the skill gap. That is my overall perception of the situation. But I'm sure you guys will have some interesting thoughts down below. So yeah, leave them down there. Be interested to hear them. Like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you next time.